pleasant when we're together, and it's a pleasure to welcome you into my home as we come to the end of Shabbat and we take a moment to savor the last few moments of all that's good and sweet in our Shabbat worship and our Shabbat experience, and to turn and make that separation as we forge a new week, as we move forward into new time and new opportunities. I invite you, if you have your Havdalah set, to take it out and to light your candles. The Havdalah candle is beautiful because it's made of not just one wick, like a regular candle is, but usually they have 4, 6, 8, they have multiple wicks to give us more light, more warmth. And I'll talk a little bit about their spark in just a little while. But we start with our blessings. We start with wine, always our symbol of sweetness, to take a little sweet into the new week. We have our spices that make a pleasant sound, and they smell delicious, and they vitalize our senses. And then we have the warmth and the light of the Havdalah candle, which all brings a little bit of sweetness, warmth, and goodness into our senses so that we can start the new week enlivened with our senses ready to greet this new world ahead of us. So let's start with our blessings. Now, before we turn to the blessing over the candle, I wanted to just take a moment to set our intention as we enter a new week. Now, there's a tradition that when you say the blessing, you actually create a little cup with your hand and you look at the light reflected and shining in your fingernails. And when you cup your hands in this way, you also see the difference between the dark area in here and the light area at the top, the separation between Shabbat and the week, Shabbat, a place of light and a place of dark. Abraham Joshua Heschel used to tell a beautiful story. There was a blacksmith who took on an apprentice, And the apprentice worked very hard. He worked for the master all the time. He tried all the time to perfect his craft. Eventually, he took over his master's business, but he found that even though he did the work and he worked very hard, his customers began to dwindle. So the apprentice went to the rabbi and asked what was going on. Why was he not successful in his business? And the rabbi said, "My child, you have learned your trade well. You know how to forge metals. You know how to place the anvil. You know how to strike the smart blow. But the one thing that you have not learned is how to kindle a spark." And the rabbi meant to teach the apprentice that technique is good, but it's no substitute for spark or for passion. An animating spark moves us beyond the mundane. And so we can do our work, but if we bring no spark to it, it never comes alive. It's the same way that you can read a parenting book, but it doesn't make you a parent, and you can read a cookbook, but it doesn't make you a good chef. You actually have to put yourself into it and bring the spark to make your work come alive. You have the opportunity every single week to bring that spark into all that you do, to turn the mundane into something that is more, that has that divine essence in it. And so when we say the blessing tonight over the candle and we look at our fingernails and we see that spark of light in them, I hope that you'll remember to take that spark with you into everything that you do, into the way that you make your way through your daily life, into the way that you do your work in the office or at home, into the ways that you parent. Bring the spark into all that we do. And that's why we end Shabbat with this beautiful flame to remind us that we can light up the world. We just have to set our intention to do so. Havdalah ben kodesh lechol, chatotenu hu himcho, Zarenu v'chasfenu yar v'kachol v'kachol chavim b'layla. Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera B'yameinu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. The twisted candle brightens our hearts as together we watch the Sabbath depart. We smell the spices and taste the wine as the stars in the sky begin to shine. Shavua tov, may you have a good week. May you find the happiness you seek. Shavua tov, may your week be fine. May it be as sweet as the Sabbath wine. We say goodbye to a special friend as another Shabbat has come to an end. Shavua tov are the words we sing to say may you have a happy week. Shavua tov, may you have a good week. May you find the happiness you seek. Shavua tov, may your week be fine. May it be as sweet as the Sabbath wine. Shavua tov, may you have a good week. May you find the happiness you seek. Shavua tov, may your week be fine. May it be as sweet as the Sabbath wine. Shavua tov.